This video will demonstrate to teachers how to grab material out of the featured content section where all the material sits, the library of material that we have created in LOMD, how to bring that material into your account as the teacher, and what you need to do to that material in order to edit the material or in order to send that material to your students. So we're going to go ahead and log into an account that we've created for the purposes of demonstrating this. So this is a random teacher account that was created. And now I'm going to show you what you need to do in order to pull material into your account. So imagine this was your own account and you wanted to add more material to be able to eventually send to your students. What you would do is you would go into the featured content section, which is over here, and you would click on it. You would go and find the material that you wanted. So let's click on Chumash as an example. Chumash Torah, Sefer Shemos. Let's grab Parsha Shemos as an example. When you're ready to grab what you want, and by that I mean you could in theory open up Parsha Shemos and then grab a specific section, but I would not recommend that. I would actually tell you to grab the whole Parsha, which would house all that material together, because it's just much easier to send that to your students as well. Parsha Shemos will have a lot of material in it, and you can send all of that into your students' accounts. So once you're ready to grab the material, you would go ahead and on the right hand side there's a picture of a bucket. You would click on it, and then you would left click on your mouse on your computer. You left click and you hold it down, and at the same time you then grab it up and you drop it into the bucket, which is at the top. And there it is. So we've grabbed Parsha Shemos. Now when you're ready to go back to your home, you can go grab more material if you like. So for example, I can go back to featured content. I click on it, and I can go and find something else that I wanted, something from Mishnayos or something from Yamim Tovim, and I would drag it up here. So I can drag a whole bunch of collections that I want into my bucket. When I am ready, I go back to my house, so back to my account essentially as the teacher. Click on the house, and then what you would do is on all the collections that sit in the bucket, you highlight it, so you hover over it with your mouse, you right click, and you just click on Move to Collection. And what that will do is, as we see in a minute, it will bring it down into your collection right down over here. When you are done with that, you then can close your bucket so you have more room on your screen. And now you've brought in the material. Now we are going to be updating you through emails, constant emails, about what new materials we have put up in featured content so that you can go and take a look at them and potentially bring them into your account. What you're now going to do is you're going to open up Parsha Shemos. Now in Parsha Shemos you have a whole bunch of collections. One of the things that you need to do in order to either edit the material or in order to send to students is you now need to make the material your own. Even though you've taken the material from featured content and you've brought it into your account, it's still not yours to be able to do your own personal things with. So what you would need to do is, as an example, we'll start with translations. You need to open up each collection, and in each collection you're going to find the lessons. The lessons again are the pictures of the book opened up. It's very important that you go into each lesson, and as you notice, there's a little black bar on the top of each lesson. That indicates that although it's in your account, it's still not yours yet. You need to make it your own. So you go ahead and you open up Perek Aleph as an example, and in each lesson, there's going to be a clone button over here. You're going to click on the word clone, you're going to confirm, and watch what happens. Now you have the ability to actually go ahead and edit or add. This actually just moves it away so that you have more room on your screen if you want. But now you have the ability to go into each pasuk or to rearrange if you want parts of the lesson, because now it's your own. And in fact, what I'm going to show you now is that it doesn't really pertain into this parak because you have the translations of psukim and we have it in order of psukim, so I probably wouldn't move it around. But let's say you grabbed a lesson that had different elements to them, and you either wanted to get rid of a part of a lesson or you wanted to move around part of a lesson. The way you would do that is you would click on the edit button right over here, and you have these red X's that would essentially get rid of the part of the lesson. Or you have these lines, and if you hover over it and you left click on your mouse and you start dragging them, you can move them around. So you can actually move parts of your lesson around, even if you've created your own lesson eventually, or you can get rid of parts of your lesson. And when you do that, as we always mention, whatever you do in your account is mirrored in your students' accounts. So if you wanted to remove something, you can remove it and they wouldn't see it in their account. And once you're done, you would click on the edit button again, and you would be done. Now let's go back out again. So we're in Perek Aleph, we're going to go back out again. And we're going to notice that now, because we cloned it, that black bar is gone. You need to do that for every single Perek. And again, if you're grabbing a collection that has many collections in it, so for example, we grabbed Parsha Shmos that has a lot of different collections in it, you need to go into each collection. So that was translation. You need to go into Answer B'Lashon HaPasuk. And in Answer B'Lashon HaPasuk, you need to make sure that every single lesson is cloned. Once you've cloned all the lessons, then you're good. Now, one other thing that I wanted to point out to you as well, and we can go back to translations and do this, is that once you've cloned all the lessons, and they all do not have the black bar, when you go back out again and you look at the collection view, do not get thrown off by the fact that the collection view will have the black bar on top. That's fine. That will always stay there. What's very important is that in the collections themselves, where we have our lessons, every lesson does not have that black bar. So again, when you grab a collection that has, like a Parsha Shmos, that has multiple collections in it, you need to make sure once you've grabbed that material, and I would do it right away because sometimes people forget, is to go into each part of that collection, into each of the sub-collections, and clone every single lesson within it. I'll give you another example of where you would potentially want to remove parts of the lesson. If I go into Answer B'Lashon Rashi, for those that are going to be using this, and again, we have everything broken down by the Perek. If I go ahead and I clone Perek Aleph, and now I have every single Divrei HaMaschil, I may not be teaching every single Rashi. So what I can do is I can simply press the edit button, remove the Rashis that I don't want, and then when the students open up their account, they'll only see the Rashis that you have in that Perek. Keep in mind, very important, that once you remove something, it's really, really, really difficult to bring it back again. So I would suggest that if you think you may be using it, do not remove it. If you know for sure you're not going to be using it, and you don't want to confuse the students by having more information there than necessary, you can absolutely remove it. So again, just to review again, we went to the featured section, content section, we grabbed the material that we wanted, we brought it into our account, we opened up the collection, and we went into each sub-collection and we cloned every single lesson to make sure that there is no black bar on top. And that is how you grab material and clone it. We will now talk about, not in this video, but in another video, about how you go ahead and send that material that you have now cloned to your students.